This is a video for Big Bend National Park. Just to let other people know how beautiful this is. This was our setup with the Rio Grande Village. Really nice. We were able to have generators on all day, actually, well, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. just because the heat here. This is just kind of a look at some of the various campgrounds. Really beautiful. Horses come up from Mexico. Kind of visit sometimes throughout the day. One night we had, I guess it was coyotes that were going crazy in the middle of the night, but that only happened one time. There's tent sites. The pads are really nice. Most of the places seem to have like a covered shelter. You can see one over across there. This person had a tent. They're packing up. But you can kind of see the covered shelters around. This park does not have water or electricity. Before you get to this campground, though, you can fill up with water, and there's also the dump as you're leaving. But gorgeous site. The Cottonwood location, it was closed. I don't know why. And then there's another location that is just around the corner from us. They have a full hookup, but it's like parking on Walmart parking lot. It's just kind of, parking spaces. There's not really any scenic view, but you do get the full hookup. And there were a few people that were over there. All of this is reservation by reservation, and we ended up here during the shutdown, but it worked out okay. The camp host and hostess, Janine and Corey, they were awesome. And technically they said they were just kind of hanging around and volunteering, trying to keep things operational and running well. And there's another campground at the Chisos Mountains, by the Chisos Mountain Lodge. And you have to be careful, though. There's warnings about how long your rig is. And so we drove through there just to see what it was like after we had disconnected the camper. But really sharp turns, and I would not advise it probably for any camper unless you had a teardrop. So it was mainly people with their tents that were staying there. At this campground, you've got a couple of bathrooms. There's no showers. You have to go back just down the road to the other location with the full hookups. There's a little store. They were still operational during the shutdown. The visitor centers, most of them were closed, not available. That was a drawback of the shutdown. But at least at the location where we were near, they had ice, some food. The showers were, make sure you bring your quarters. $2 gets you 5 minutes, I believe it was. Things to do. We went to, our campground is right beside Mexico. So we climbed up a mountain and we were there at Mexico. Pretty cool. And then later that afternoon we went into Boquillas, and it was really nice. We rode across in a boat. You paid $5 per person round trip. They walked you across. And then you have the option of riding a donkey or walking or riding in the back of a truck to go on into the town of Boquillas. Before you go, you have to check in through port of entry that's on our side. Then you walk out the back door, and that takes you down to the Mexico side. You have to bring your passports. Just remember, you have to have your passports with you. You get to Boquillas, and then you go through their little immigration system which was not a big deal at all. And then you get to go and eat, shop for souvenirs. The people are happy to see you. And they're very nice. It felt very safe. I had been there 40 years ago, and then again took my kiddos there, I don't know, roughly 30 years ago. And it complete different setup. It's a little bit more commercialized, but there's only like 800 people that live there. Looks like now that there is some electricity, but the food was okay, and we felt that it was really safe to eat. And on the following day, I guess that was yesterday, we ended up going to Santa Elena Canyon. Guys, that was absolutely beautiful. I advise it for everybody. At the end of the canyon, we decided to get into the Rio Grande after we saw some people taking some pictures. Absolutely gorgeous. Maybe those will be our Christmas pictures. But somebody was there, and so we just stood in the middle of the Rio Grande. The water was at mid-thighs, and you could walk all the way to the other side. Huge cliff everywhere, just a beautiful canyon, beautiful pictures to take. And everybody was nice. Y'all remember on these hikes, be sure to bring your water, electrolytes, tangerines, trail mix. While we stayed, it ended up being really warm. And so you wanted to be busy during the day, and we came in like last night, it was probably 7 o'clock, so things kind of cooled off to 90 degrees. When you wake up, it's about 60 when you wake up in the mornings, and sometimes during the night you get some breeze. So we had a battery operated fan. I'm a Cobalt girl, so we had picked up a Cobalt fan, and it was phenomenal. But anyway, just kind of wanted to share this view of the Rio Grande Village campground where we stayed. And again, there is the concessionaires area just right down the road. Right down the road, and there's a few hookups there, but you have to, you've got to go online to reserve and just to take in the scenery. It's just absolutely breathtaking. And of course, you can barely see, oh, there's some horses over there. You can kind of see the mountaintops in the back. Lot of hiking, phenomenal trails. We're not sure what we'll do today. But anyway, hope that this gives you some kind of an idea for planning a trip in the future. Wonderful for children, grandchildren to bring them. And of course the tent camping here would be great too. Yeah, hope you enjoy.